planning what period. During the planning what period. During the planning period. So what are some of the uses of the cash budget? What are some of the uses of the cash budget? What are some of the uses of the cash budget? Uses of the cash budget? What are some of the uses of the cash budget? To basically to forecast how much receipt and payment are expected to be what? To forecast how much cash receipt. So cash receipt is the cash that will be receiving, and payment. Cash receipt and payment are expected. Are expected what? To be over the planning period. To be over the planning what? Period. To be over the planning what? Period. Right. What other uses of the cash budget? So it helps us to forecast, and then the second one is to learn whether there would be a shortage of cash at any given period, right? So to know whether there would be a shortage, whether there will be a shortage of what? Of cash at any time during the to know whether there will be a shortage or surplus. Shortage or surplus of cash at any time during the period. All right, so let me so these are the two. That's some of the uses of the cash budget. Right. So let's take an example from the question that I sent. Let us look at a cash budget. Let us look at a cash budget. All right. So cash budget. Okay. Can we all see the cash budget?
Yes.
Can you see the cash budget?
Yes, please.
Okay. So example. So reader, please take us to the cash budget question.
You are presented with the following flow forecasted cash flow data for your organization for the period November 2021 to June 2020.
All right, so you start with the
It has been extracted from functional flow forecasts that have already been.
Hello, can you hear me? You start with the requirement of the question before you start with the actual question.
Okay.
What are you required to do?
You are also told the following. Okay. The managing director is pleased with the above figure as they show sales will
Hey,
have increased by.
are you looking at my screen? Are you looking at my screen? I mean, read the cash budget question.
No,
Most of the questions are you reading?
you said I
Look, check
should
my
read the
screen.
requirements. Sir, hello.
Start with the requirement. Prepare a cash flow forecast. When you get a question, look at what the question is asking. That's the requirement. Prepare a
Okay.
cash flow forecast for the 6 months.
Yeah, January to June 2022. And B, comment on your results in the light of the managing director's comments and offer an advice.
Okay. Then you can start reading from the top.
You are also told the following. A. Sales are 40%.
You also told the following. You are also told the following. Which question are you reading? You are presented with the following.
Oh, sir, I read this one before you said I should read the requirement. That's why I didn't read it. You are presented with the following flow forecasted cash flow data for your organization for the period November 2021 to June 2022. It has been extracted from functional flow forecasts that have already been prepared. So should I mention the figures?
No, don't mention the figures. Just mention sales, purchases, blah, blah, blah.
Sales, purchases, wages, overheads, dividends, capital expenditure. You are also told the following. A. Sales are 40%, cash 60% credit. Credit sales are paid 2 months after the month of sale. B. Purchases are paid the month following purchase. 75 C. 75% of wages are paid in the current month and 25% the following month. D. Overheads are paid the month after they are incurred. E. Dividends are paid 3 months after they are declared. F. Capital expenditure is paid 2 months after it is incurred. G. The opening cash balance is $1,500. The managing director is pleased with the above figures as they show sales will have increased by more than 100% in the period under review. In order to achieve this, please can you zoom your screen? Okay. In order to achieve this, he has arranged a bank overdraft with a ceiling of $5,000 to accommodate the increased inventory levels and wage bill for overtime work. I'm done, please.
Then you read the question again. Then read the requirement again.
Okay. A. Prepare a cash flow forecast for the 6 month period, January to June 2022. B. Comment on your results in the light of the managing director's comments and offer advice.
That's how you approach questions like this. When you get a question, You read the requirement first. When you read the requirement, that's the first thing you do. Oh, which question is this? Oh, it's a cash budget question. Okay. Before you go and start the reading from the top, you can start reading at the top. Then when you are done reading at the top, you come and read the requirement again to know, relate it to what you've seen at the top. So this is a cash budget question, and cash budget follows a format which is the receipt and payment. So let's go through it quickly. So cash budget. So we have our receipt. Then the say we should prepare for what? So we receipt less all the expenses. Receipt, then we less all the what? All the payment. So receipt and payment, we less all the payment, and then we add any opening inventory and our opening stock. Then we deduct the closing stocks, right? So here, the receipt, the questions that we should prepare is that prepare a cash flow forecast for the 6 months period, January to June. How many months were we given? So we should prepare from January to June. We're given starting November, December, January X to February, March, April, May, June. Right? So we have been given more months than we are expected to prepare. So January to June. All right. So we are interested in January to June. So with the January to June, we have January, February, March, April, May, June. Right? January, February, March, April, May, June. Then we have is it which currency? Is it in Ghana cedis or
dollars?
Dollars, okay. So dollars. Okay. So now, what are the receipts from the question? What are the receipts? So the receipt we know is what? Sales. Sales is what? When you sell, you receive money, right? So that is the sale. Let's come to the additional information. So each of them, or some of them, there are additional information affect them. So you cannot just bring them like that. So sales, the sales are 40% cash. These sales that we are having, 40% are cash. That means you receive instant cash. And then 60% credit. Means the 60% of this amount, they pay them on credit. And they're saying that a credit sales, so credit sales are paid 2 months after the month of sale. So here you have to be careful, understand what the statement is saying. 40% cash. So the 40% cash, we don't have a problem. We've sold and then we've received our cash. But the remaining 60%, they are saying that credit sales are paid 2 months after the month of the sale. So after the month of the sale. After the month of the sale, it means that January sales, we receive it 2 months afterwards the month of the sale. So we received it. November sale. We received November sale in January, which is 1-2. So 2 months after the sale. We made the sale in November, so we'll be receiving the money in January. Receive the money in what January. So month of sale of November, the money in November will be received in what? January. That is it. And money for December will also be received in what? February. So that is the meaning of the 2 months after the sale, right? And then we further move to say that purchases are paid the month following the purchase. Purchases are paid the month following what? Purchase. So these are the purchases. They are paid the month following. So November purchase will be paid in what? December. December purchase will be paid in January. January will be paid in February. That order, what I said. And then I think that 75% of the wages are paid in the current month. So 75% are paid in the current month. So November wages are paid, 75% are paid in the same November, but the remaining 25% are paid in December. So this is how it works. This is how the whole thing works. So now we have to prepare our card. So we are starting with the sales. So with the sales, we know that we have to do some workings. So we can say workings 1, because the sales is not straightforward. 40% in cash and the 60% paid after 2 months. So we have to go and do the workings and bring the final figure for sales here. So we have to go and do some workings, right? So workings. All right, so let me do my workings here. So the workings I'm doing for what? For sales. So the sales schedule. Sales what? Schedule. Sales schedule. The space is not, and let me go down. Okay, so the sales schedule. Okay, so we are preparing for January to June. So January, February, March, April, May, June. All right, and then in Dallas, there will be the sales. What is the sales amount? The sales amount is 11,000 for January, 13,000 February, 14,000, 15,000, 16,000, 13,000, 18,000. So 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 18. Okay. 11,000, 13,000, 14,000, 15,000, 16,000, 18,000. So this is the sales. Now, out of these sales, they are saying that cash sales is how much? 40%. So 40%, it means that the cash sales we receive, we take it instant, right? So that's 40% of 11,000 will be how much? Quickly. 40% of 11,000. Let's do it quickly.
$4,400. 4,400.
Sorry?
4,400.
Are you the only one in the class? So 4,400. What else? 40% of 13,000. The rest will be doing the others.
5,200.
40% of 13,000. What do you?
5,200.
5,200. March. Someone should be doing April, May, June.
5,600. 7,200. 7,200.
April. Is it April?
Yes. April is 6,000. It's 40% of 18,000.
April it was 7,200.
18,000, so 7,200.
And then May. May is how much?
6,400.
This is 15,000.
The April is 6,000. And the March is 6,400.
May is how much?
May is 6,400.
June. How much is June?
7,200.
So I think she thought that this one was 18,000. So this is 15,000 actually. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have what? The credit sales. Credit sales is what? 60%. And listen to the statement on the credit sales or for the credit sales. That credit sales are paid 2 months after the month of sale, right? Now we are preparing for January. What will be the January credit sales amount? What do you think will be the January credit sales amount? Is it not 60%? November 60% will be paid in what? January. So January will receive an amount. And that is the amount that we'll be receiving in January is 60% of the November's. Because the policy is saying that credit sales are paid 2 months after the month of the sale. Month of November, sales of 8,000, 60% of it will be paid in January because that is 2 months after. So it means 60% of 8,000 is given us how much?
4,800.
So far 4,800. Go to the December. December, 60% of December sales will be paid in what? February, right? So 60% of December sales, 10,000, will be paid in what? In February. So what is the February amount? 60% of 10,000.
6,000.
6,000. And you come to what's the name? January. January, 60% of it will be paid in what? In March, right? So 60% of January sales, 11,000, will be paid in March. 60% of 11,000 is how much? 60%
6,600.
6,600. Then you come to what? That is February. So February is February. So 60% of February's amount, 13,000, will be paid in what? In April. In April. And that is how much? 60% of, is it 13,000?
Yes, 7,800.
7,000 what?
800.
7,800. 7,800. And then we move on to the other one, which is what?
March.
Which is March. So March, 60% of the 14,000 for March will be paid in what? May. So 60% of 14,000. 60% of 14,000.
8,400.
8,400. 8,400. 8,400. All right. So we do same for which is the April. So April's 15,000. 60% of it will be paid in what? In June. So 60% of 15,000. 60% of 15,000. So that is how much? 9,000, right? That is 9,000. So then, what will be the total? What will be the total?
For January, 9,200.
January, 9,200. February,
11,200.
11,200. March,
12,200.
March, 12,200. April,
13,800.
13,800. Okay, May,
14,800.
14,800. And finally, June,
16,200.
16,200. 16,200. Right. Okay. So this is basically the sales amount. So this amount will be sent to the sales as the sales amount for January, sales amount for February, sales amount for March, April, May, and June, respectively. Yeah. So what is the sales amount for January? It will not be the 11,000 anymore. It will now be what? 9,200. 9,200. This will be 11,200. What else? 7,200. Then 12,200. 12,200. 13,800. 13,800. 13,800. 13,800. Then 14,800. 14,800. 14,800. Then 16,200. 16,200. Right. So that is it for the sales. Right. All right. So we are done with the sales. So the next is the purchases, which is the payment side. It's under the payment side. Now you are coming to the payment side. The only receipt is the sales. The only receipt is the word sales. Now you are coming to the payment side, receipt and pay. Under the payment, we have what do we have? We have purchases, right? Any adjustment on purchases? Any adjustment on purchases? Any adjustment on purchases? Okay, so purchases. What did they say about purchases? Purchases are paid the month following purchases, right? So this one is easy to do. You don't have to prepare a schedule for that. Purchases are paid the month. So this month, January will be February's purchases, right? Amount for the February. So January's purchases will be the amount for December. February will be for the amount for January in that order, right? So no need to prepare a schedule for that. You can bring it straight on the face of the account, right? Or on the face of the cash budget, on the budget. So purchases for January, what do you think? That is the purchases for December. So what is the purchase for December? That's what 6,000, right? In that order, 6,000, 8,000, 9,000. So it's 6,000, and this one will be, I believe, added. So 6,000. And then what for February? What do we have? 8,000.
8,000.
And then this one is what? 9,000, right?
Yeah, yes, yes.
9,000, 11, 13,000. 9,000, 11,000, 13,000, and then 14,000, right? Last one is 14,000. Right? And what is the next payment? That will be wages. 75% of wages are paid in the current month, and the 25% the following month. So you see, with this, you need to prepare a schedule, right? It will not be prudent to do it on the face of the budget. So let's prepare wages schedule. Wages was schedule. So wages was schedule. When you do this, then you close. Okay, I know you are tired. I know you are tired. All right. So wages schedule. So with the January. See, let's let's assume the month is calculated. Let me bring it. Students, February, March, April, May, June. Okay. So current month. He said how many percent is paid in the current month? He said 75 wages are paid in the current month and 25% following the following month. What I say? So current month is um 20, 75%. So what is the 75% of how much of is it 1,600? 75% of 1,600. That is for January. Then 75% for 2,000 for February. 75% on 2,400 for March in that order. So give me the figures. 75%.
So January is 1,200. February is 1,500.
February 1,500. March
1,800.
1,800. April
2,100.
2,100. Okay. May
May 2,400.
2,400. June
2,700.
2,700. Okay. And then we have following the month. Following the following month is 25%. Is it 25% of what? 25% the following month. Okay. So what is 25%? 25% of the following month. So 25%. 25%. So December's wages will be paid in what? In January, right?
Yes.
December's will be paid in January, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then January's 25% will be paid when? In February. So in that order. So give me the answers. So 25% of December, 1,200, will be paid in January.
300.
300.
300. February.
400.
400.
All right. So okay,
500.
let's finish. Second one is how much? February. I mean the
500.
February one.
400.
25% on this. You add how much? 25% of this. 25% of this for the 25 of this will be for this. This one will be for this. 25% of this will be for this. 25% of this will be for this. Now that. So give me correct figures. 300.
400.
400. Are you sure 400 is
500.
correct?
Yes.
Is
Please.
400 correct?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. And the March?
That's 500.
500.
600.
April.
600.
Is Sylvia here?
Yes, please.
Is
I'm
Sylvia
here.
here?
Yes, please.
Are you the one and
Yes, please.
are you the one speaking?
Yes,
Oh, okay, I
please.
see. And the May one is how much?
700.
700. And then June. How much is June?
800.
800. All right. So what is the total? What is the total?
1,500. Hey, wow, I have a-
300. This one will be 2,700. 3,000.
100. 3,500.
3,500. So these are the amount that will go to the wages. So let's send them to the the wages, not the payment side. So that is 1,500, 1,900, 1,500, 1,500, 1,900, I think 2,300, 2,700, 3,100, 3,500, 2,700, 3,100, and 3,500. What else? Go to overheads are paid the month after they are incurred. So this one, there's no need for working. The month after, it's about so that one, the month after the incurred. So that one, what will be the overhead? What will be the overhead? What will be the overhead? So overhead for December will be paid in what? In January, right? So overhead for December, November, December. So overhead for December will be paid in January. So let's 1,000 will be paid in January, 1,500 will be paid in February, in that order. So 1,000 in January, 1,500 in February. What else? And then 1,500 in March, right? 1,500 in March, and then another 1,500 in April, 1,500 in April. 2,000 in May, right? 2,000 in May. 2,000 in May. And then the last one is how much?
2,000.
I see a 2,000. Okay. And then 2,000. Is it not nice? Is the cash budget not simple and nice? Is it not nice?
It's nice.
Yes. It's nice. Simple and nice. Oh. Okay, so dividends are paid 3 months after they are declared. Dividends are paid 3 months after they are declared, right? See, so the managing director is pleased with above figures as they show sales will have increased by more than 100% in the period under review. In order to achieve this, he arranged a bank overdraft with a ceiling of 5,000 to accommodate the increased inventory level and wage bill for the overtime work. Okay, you are saying. All right, so dividends are paid 3 months after they are incurred. Hey, is it a dividend for November will be paid in which month? Yes, who can tell me? Dividend in November will be paid in which month?
February.
Will be paid in when?
February.
February. Wow, I see. Dividends are paid 3 months after they are incurred. And I'm asking dividend for November will be paid when?
November, December, January,
February.
Yes.
Okay, that is good. February. Yes, February. Then dividend for December will be paid when?
December, March.
Yeah, it will be paid in March. Exactly. So if you check here, you can see that we don't have dividend for November, but dividend for what? For December, right? And then dividend for the last month, which is what? Is it June? Yeah, June. Okay. So this June amount will be, which is 2,000 in December, and it will be paid in which month? It will be paid in which month? In March.
March.
So that's dividend. Dividend of December will be paid in March. January, February, March. So that's 2,000. What else? The 4,000 then it will be this 4,000. It will be paid in outside the board. We are not interested in that. Then we come to the capital expenditure. Capital expenditure. Capital expenditure. Capital expenditure is how much? It's 3,000. And it's almost then. Capital expenditure is paid 2 months after it is incurred. This thing is simple and straightforward. 2 months after it is incurred. So capital expenditure for December, November, December, January will be paid in which month?
January be paid in March.
Will be paid in what?
March.
Capital expenditure January will be paid in March, exactly. So that will be paid in March. So capital expenditure will be paid. How much is it?
3,000.
3,000. 3,000. Right. What else? Then we have another capital expenditure, which is January, February, March, April. April will be paid in which month?
June.
June. And are we preparing for June? Are you preparing for June as well?
Yes, please.
This June, right?
Yes, please.
That's 4,000. Alright. What else? So that is all, right? That's all. That's all, right? That's all. That's all. Okay. Give me the totals. Give me the totals. Those who sign there shall be saved.
Starting from the
Give me the
sale.
total. No, total for cash payment. Total for the cash payment. Did you know the cash budget is only interested in cash items? That is a cash payment, right? You listen to the name, cash budget. So it's just the cash payment. So all the credit payments will be converted into the cash payment. All the credit payments, they will definitely pay. So we are interested in the day that they paid, right? Not the credit payment. So that you see that they will pay it 2 months after. So the 2 months after we will receive cash. Cash budget is interested in just cash. When we receive cash. What I said. So give me the total cash payment for let me scroll down, right? Or up. That's the payment side. Pay for the payment. As someone is doing for January, someone is also doing for February, March in that order. Yeah. For more than 5 years. Someone should, as someone is doing this, the other person is doing that.
8,500 for June.
8,500 for January. 8,500 for
11,700
January.
for February.
11,700 for February.
And 18,100 for March.
18,100.
$15,500.
Yeah, I'm getting a different figure for the maybe February. 8,000 plus
Yes,
1.
it's 11,400.
Yeah, 11,000. What of this one? 9,000 plus
17,800.
17,800, of course. What else?
February is 11,700. It's fantastic.
No, it's 1,900.
Yes,
And then this is
it's 8,000,
1,500.
1,900, and then 1,500. Okay.
And then what of the rest?
Fif-
11,000 plus
15.
2,700 plus 1,500, 15,200.
May 18,100.
18,000. 18,100.
18,100. 23,500.
All right. This is our cash payment. What is a deficit or a surplus? By deducting it from the sales. To have the net surplus or deficit. To the first one, is it a deficit or it's a surplus? 9,200 minus 8,500. What do you have? That it is 700. So it's 700.
700.
So that's giving us 700, right? And then the second one is how much?
Negative 200.
11,200 minus. So that is a surplus,
11,400.
a deficit of 200. That's a deficit of 200. What of the third one? 12,200 minus 17,800.
Negative 4,900.
12,200 minus 17,800.
Sorry. 5,600. Deficit.
The deficit, right?
Yes.
And what of the petrol? 13,800 minus 15,200. That will be a deficit as well.
1,400.
13,400. And then this is 14,800 minus 18,100. 14,800 minus 18,100.
3,300.
3,100.
300.
And then the last one.
Okay, 3,000.
The last one is 16,200 minus 23,500. 16,200.
7,000.
23,500. 7,300 deficit.
Yes.
Now we have balance brought down and closing balance, right, for the cash. think I remember saying inventory. The beginning is rather cash, balance of cash from the previous year, and then the closing was balance. You get it? All right. So the opening cash balance, June. The opening cash balance is 1,500. So that's the beginning cash balance that was in the business. So what do we do with that? That will be added. So that was the beginning at January. The beginning is for January. Because they are preparing for January. So the opening cash balance is 1,500. So that will be added to this. What are we getting? Two
2,200.
Okay. So this is known as the closing balance. Closing cash balance. So this closing cash balance for January will be the beginning of what? February. Do you get it? So the closing for January will be the beginning for what? February. So what do we have? To be 2,000 positive. This 2,000 positive would be the beginning for March. Is it March? Yeah. And then what do we have? 5,600 negative. 5,600 negative minus what? Plus 2,000. That is 3,600 negative. This 3,000 is the closing. Closing for March. It will be the beginning for April. That will be the beginning for what? April. And then what do we have? Negative.
Positive.
Hey. Negative. I see. Okay. 3,600. So that will be 5,000. That will be 5,000 negative. And this will be the beginning for this. And that will be what? 3,300 plus 5,000. Oh, 8,300 negative. 8,300 negative. And this will be the beginning. Plus 7,300. 15,600 negative. Alright, so that is it for A. Prepare the cash budget. B. Comment on your result in the light of the managing director's comments and offer advice. So what are some of the comments that we can see in managing director's comments? Is pleased with above figures as they show sales would have increased by 100% in the period under review. In order to achieve this, he has arranged to a bank overdraft with a ceiling of 5,000 to accommodate the increase in inventory levels. He has arranged a bank overdraft 5,000 to accommodate inventory levels and will wait bill for the overtime work. So what are some of the advice or comment that we can give to this managing director? All right, so we can, that is B, right? So let me bring the B here. You can tell the managing director that he can give early discount to customers so that they pay within 1 month. Give customers early settlement discount. Or if you give them discount, like if they pay within shortest possible period of time, you would what you will get a discount. So early settlement discount to pay within 1 month. So you have to rather, instead of going for an overdraft to come with an additional cost. Overdraft is like a short-term loan. You are going for a loan to finance the cash, this cash deficit. You are going for a short-term loan to finance the cash deficit. So we are saying that, oh, no. It is give your customers rather discount, early settlement discount, so that they will pay within the shortest possible of time. If they pay within the shortest possible of time, means you are going to get cash to run your business, right? So that is the reason. So give customers early settlement discount to pay within 1 month, and then you can also negotiate with your suppliers, so that the suppliers you can pay them late. If you are paying your suppliers late, it means you are getting more money with you to be able to run the business until they ask for their money. So negotiate with suppliers to increase the credit period, right? So that when you buy goods on credit from them, you don't pay early. You shouldn't pay early. I believe you know this is also a type of finance whereby you get goods on credit. You see that you can sell it and get money. Not this, you invest the money again. They see that you'll be making profit. It's a form of finance, trade credit. So increase the credit period to 3 months. And then another advice we can give the manager is also you should defer capital expenditure. Defer capital expenditures. Defer capital expenditures. Yes, you have to defer. See, capital expenditure will require cash, right? So if you see that it's not really relevant, then defer it, postpone it, postpone the capital expenditure. You shouldn't be spending money on the capital expenditures, right? Or you can defer your dividend payment. The dividend I'm paying, you say, oh, I'll pay you later. Now we are not having a lot of cash, so this, please allow us to keep the cash in the business for now. We would pay your dividend some other time, right? So we defer dividend payment. So that is the end of the cash budget question. And I believe if you get cash budget, it's likely that cash budget can also come. So if you don't get cash budget, you can get the section B, and or inventory or receivables or payables. Receivables and payables, they are almost the same. The same way you treat them. Yes, so the same way. They use the same formula where the early settlement discount formula will come in. So tonight would be ending our session here. So maybe you continue some other time with but my focus is on the finance students. Finance student ability and objectives edition. So I think I will forward some objectives with you. Yes, I'll forward some objectives with you. Yeah. So if I forward it, to you, then it has been answered, right? I think last 2 years, and we've answered it. So I'll just forward it to you. I'll put a okay. Let's. So that is it. So I think we'll be under the cash budget too. We have the cash model. Sometimes and some uh, propounders have brought a model, which is the Balmer model and the Miller and All model. They are also there. That I think time is fast spent. We didn't start early. I can see that some of you have gone to write the exam, so you are tired. So on that note, we would pause here. The Balmer model uses the cash format. So the Balmer model it uses the inventory formula now, that is Q is equal to the square root of the demand and then transaction cost over the opportunity cost. So here where the D is the cash that you need. So demand for cash. The D is what demand for cash. Demand for cash. The CO is basically transaction cost. So moving funds in and out of the interest-bearing deposit, right? And the transaction cost, the cost that you incur when you move in cash or you move out cash, right? In and out. And then you can talk of the opportunity cost. So the cost of holding cash, of course. Cost of holding cash or the what? Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost. Right? So that is basically the Balmer model. It follows the entry knowledge, right? Same formula, but then the interpretations are different. So I think we are tired and we'll have to pause here. Thank you very much for coming and enjoy the rest of your evening if there is no question. Is there any question? Is there any question? On that note, thank you very much for coming. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you too.
Thank you.